Hey people, Julian here. I just competed with Mako, my 3-pound robot, at GSCRL on March 16th. This is the second tournament I've done since Mako has been redesigned. In my first video, I didn't really go over any of my design ideas / changes, so I'm going to start the video with that. If you don't care about any of that, then use the chapters below to skip straight to the fights. But yeah. Alright, here's the new boy. The first thing you'll notice is that the saw arm rests all the way in the back and swings a full 180. Besides the obvious, where having the saw arm back here as opposed to up here, it's a lot safer. Robot's less top heavy, but also pressing this little thingy into the ground allows the robot to be a lot more stable. I've really enjoyed that aspect of the robot, especially facing horizontal spinners. You know, they're gonna smack this blade up here more times than not. Next feature is I've got 4 forks up here. I've got these little catchers up here, which I've enjoyed using a lot. And also, these are designed so that the inside forks, I could pop out one of these bolts and they can become hinged. So it allows me to quickly change between, realistically, any of these can be hinged, any of them can be fixed, depending on the matchup. I still don't know when exactly I prefer using fixed versus hinged, but this allows me the flexibility to do that. Opening this sucker up, see, I've got a big 60 kg servo in here. This is the Seth's 32 kg model, just slightly modified for the changed geometry. But let's see, we've got a TPU mount, we'll call it, that holds the servo in, raises it up a little bit, and screws in through the bottom. This allows me to quickly pop this out if I have to between matches, tighten everything back up, and screw it back in. I used L mounts, L brackets, made of aluminum in January, and the big hits would bend them, and also the screws were just slowly vibrating out into the servo and into the bottom of the robot, which, you know, I could just Loctite them, but then that makes it more of a pain in the butt to pop it out between matches. So this has worked well. Another thing is, because I've got this whole split chassis thing going on, I can feed the servo wires under there, feed these the wires from this motor under there, and they are relatively out of the way. Next thing is these wheel guards. I guess conventional wisdom is that these are bad wheel guards because they don't go all the way down and they're going to get caught by vertical spinners. My idea here, and it might be stupid, is that if there is a robot on my side and it's a vertical spinner, I would want them to actually hit this early and bounce me away, and hopefully that gives me a second or two to reset. Versus if it was a more standard wheel guard, they might get under me, hit my wheel, get to the juicier bits, and keep hitting me. The idea with this is it gets caught early, flexes, bounces, and gives me an opportunity to reset. I don't know how good that has been working, but also it just looks cool. Sometimes you have to go for the aesthetic over the capability or whatever. Another interesting thing is these are symmetrical, so I can come with, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and they can fit on either side. I can also remove these against control bots, which I do in this tournament. Because realistically, I don't need to protect the wheels, and this would prevent me from getting lifted by these, getting caught on the side of the wall, whatever. yeah, not much else interesting going on. The saw arm now has a little channel to keep the wires safe. Oh, and one thing that I quickly designed between March and HRL and this tournament was a little custom AR500 blade. The idea with this is, instead of cutting, maybe I can get some big hits. I've also got a faster motor, which can keep this spinning at 300 miles per hour, despite being 3 inches compared to the typical saw I use, which is 4.5 inches. Not much else has changed since NHRL to this tournament, but these are the old wheels, and you can see the mount pops out the side, which is less than ideal. New wheels. This goes inside, sits in there, and I guess the idea there is, it's protected, and if the wheel gets hit, there's less of a fulcrum, I guess, going into the motors. I've been rambling. This tournament had 15 robots, double elimination. Did not know who my opponent would be until we got there, really. First opponent is Honeycomb and SSP kit. I believe the driver's name is Mark. I wouldn't say I was excited for this matchup, but I was kind of glad to get a control bot first. It's SSP, which I'm super familiar with. So at least I knew my robot would not get completely obliterated in the first match. Mark was a very nice guy. I actually helped him with a few things to get his robot in. Here's the match.
2, 1, fight! So here comes Mako. I don't think Honeycomb can do more about it. Certainly, here comes that spinner. They bring it down. Now, it looks like those forks are doing their job. Mako can't quite reach the body.
Got to get to his side.
But let's see if they can get to the sides or the back.
Perfect,
This
perfect.
is a problem. There's a big grind against the top.
Further back.
Foot armor from Honeycomb. Looks like Mako's having a hard time penetrating that, so league organizers breathing a bit of a sigh of relief there. That is a tap out.
That's your match.
So that was a bit of a mixed bag. Got a fairly quick tap out, but unfortunately one of their drive sides was just not working right out the gate. One of those things where it works when you test it, and then you put the robot down, and something's funky. Thankfully, they did not tap out right away. I still got to at least test my robot. However, this weapon did not do too great. Cut right through some TPU, but swinging into their titanium made some cool sparks, but did not elicit a big hit. I was definitely not getting through the titanium. But regardless, still happy to come away with the win. This next matchup here is up against Ryan with Apex Predator. It's a gorgeous 4-wheel drive beater bar robot. I notice he's got G10 or carbon fiber top plate. Not sure exactly what it is, but I know it should be weaker than titanium. So I figure let's give this weapon one more shot.
Let's get this fight started in 3, 2, 1, fight! This is a B1 fight. Good box rush from Mako. Yes! That's that hammer saw down on the back of Apex
10,
Predator.
9, 8.
You see that hammer getting stuck in the wheel gap of Apex Predator. A couple of good big hits, but now Apex Predator is starting to return fire, getting good traction against those forks of Mako. Apex Predator now starting to juggle Mako around. Another good hit. Mako's forks should be underneath there, but Apex Predator's bar is so low it's able to reach those forks. Mako looking for another big hammer saw strike, but I think their right wheel is locked up. So Apex Predator able to get beneath Mako now. Mako wants to drop that hammer saw again. A good hit from Apex Predator there. Apex Predator looking for another good hit. Mako Mako looking for another strike for a
10,
ball.
9,
Swinging that
8,
arm, but
please,
nothing
okay?
doing just yet. 90 seconds left in this fight. Now, Apex Predator wearing Mako as a hat. That will count for control point. And that's some place where Mako does not want to be. Apex Predator trying to get against that vulnerable arm assembly. Mako briefly had his arm stuck in Apex real well. Not able to disengage. Some more good control from Apex Predator. This counts as a pin. 60 seconds left in this fight. Apex Predator getting back around to the front of Mako. Another good hit against those forts. Trying to invert Mako. Mako looking for that one big hit against the top of Apex Predator. But it's hard to do with that one drive side not working properly. Another good hit from the side of Apex Predator. And this cage has gotten very quiet. I think Apex Predator's weapon might be down with 30 seconds remaining. That's a plot twist, but it looks like Mako's weapon's down. All they could do is tap aggressively. So aggressive tapping from Mako. And now a pin from Apex Predator. As you can see, once those weapons are down, this becomes a control fight. And it becomes who can pin who. So some good pins, and this is time left in the fight. We're getting a countdown, 5 seconds left. It's been a big back and forth fight.
That's the match.
And that is the fight. It goes to the judges.
Mako lost that on a judge's decision. It was a decent match, but pretty clear that he won that. Early on, one of my wheels locked up, which meant it was going to be an uphill battle. But before that, I kind of got him exactly where I wanted to and brought the arm down for what could have been a big hit. However, it was not. So I would consider this weapon, at least with a servo arm, to be a bad idea. People who know about robots probably already understand why. The servo's not moving fast enough for me to get any decent amount of bite. It just skids off of them. And if all I'm doing is skidding off of them, I might as well use a saw and try to actually cut through them, which is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the tournament. I should have never strayed from the saw path. That was a foolish mistake by me. That's not to say I would have won if I was using a saw, but I feel like that first hit in the beginning could have done a lot more. After that, it was an uphill battle after I lost the drive on one side. At some point, I was spinning up the weapon kind of aggressively, trying to land whatever I could. Eventually, he got behind me and cut one of the phase wires. So my weapon was totally down at the end. At some point, I believe I was able to jam something sort of into his weapon. So his weapon was down, but he controlled most of the match. He lost a weapon, but I lost half a weapon and half drive, so easy decision to give it to him. But yeah, I'm in the loser's bracket now, but I am certainly not giving up. I'm just going back to cutting. This next matchup here is up against one of the NHRL henchmen, actually. I believe his name is Rob. It's hard to keep track of all you guys. But he's got a control bot called Underglow. I just watched it face an SSP that it dominated. He's also got a fair amount of titanium, I believe, or aluminum, one or the other, on his robot, which means it's going to be hard for me to cut into. I got to be judicial with my saw, because if I break it without doing any damage, then it's going to be pretty hard for me to win. But either way, let's watch it.
2, 1, fight! Here we go.
Nice.
Both bots looking for an angle. Mako had Underbite teed up very briefly, but sorry, that's Underglow, not Underbite.
Nice push.
Totally different bot. Underglow was able to get out of that pin, but oh, here comes that nasty saw. Sparks everywhere. You hear that saw.
Don't drop it on the wedge next time.
And Underglow launches himself against the saw. Mako's got to be really careful. Those saws bend very easily. Once they do, they're nowhere near as effective.
Don't jinx me here.
I'm not jinxing you, Julian. All right, Mako getting Underglow into the corner.
Nice!
And another
Do it again.
hit. And I can see already there's a big slice. taken out
More!
of the view. Some more big hits. These hammer saws are terrible.
Wheel.
To fight. You see that saw getting a little bit wonky, but it should have a couple more hits in it. Here comes Underglow. If Underglow can survive a little bit more, maybe it can turn the
80
fight.
seconds. Don't be too. Don't go crazy.
Underglow with that big torquey lifter. Mako looking for another hit. It's already got a few slices in. Some big slices in. That's a pin and up from above. And you see a little
You're up.
cloud of TPU raining.
3, 2, 1.
And that's the pin being released.
50 seconds.
That saw still
50.
spinning. That saw still really
Nice!
and a big hit on the top. Unable to get a second hit in, but a lot of these really big sparky hits happening. Now, oh, that might be a pin for Underglow. It is. Back and forth fight here. Underglow with a
Nice!
top and bottom, and here comes Mako.
Stop it, stop it, stop it. Don't kill your weapon, don't kill your weapon.
And now it's sawing the arena.
10, 9, 8.
And about 10 seconds remaining in this fight. Mako going for another hit, and it does. And gets into that wedge. 5 seconds left in this fight.
3, 2, 1.
And
That's
Mako
the
going for a
match.
hit. That's the match.
Woo!
Mako-
That was a tremendous fight. Very difficult match. Me and Rob were sitting there waiting for the judges, both, fingers crossed. I kind of thought I barely won. I'm sure he thought he barely won. It was so close, but by the grace of the judges, I won, I assume, by a point. May have even been split. I do not remember. But yeah, great fight. Real close on control, real close on aggression, but maybe I get a little damage points, even though I didn't cause any significant damage. I did cause some damage. But yeah, that was a great fight. Seeing the sparks fly was a lot of fun. If anything, next time I may have been more aggressive, maybe spinning the saw up earlier, using it more often. But if the saw broke at any time, if there were the checks at the end, my saw was down, he would have definitely won. But we came away with the W, so I'm happy. I'm continuing on. This next matchup here is up against Alex with Yes Chef, a two-wheel drive beater bar. If you are a fan of NHRL, a fan of the sport, you know that this guy's a big-time veteran. Yes Chef is known to be crazy, aggressive, hard to control. So this is going to be a big test. But we'll see how it goes.
2, 1, fight! Yes, Chef weapon turns
Nice.
around, tries to get around Mako. Mako with a good hit.
5, 4, 3, 2. Good.
Mako trying to get that saw.
Nice.
Trying to get that saw, that spinning bar. Mako's going to want to get around to the back. Try to get Yes
Keep
Chef
doing your
that
thing,
way.
man.
Yes, Chef has a very chaotic way of fighting. That's what they're going to try to do as best they can, is just be everywhere in the cage at
Careful,
once.
careful.
There's that saw. You hear it spinning up. Are you going to drop it?
3, 2,
We'll see.
1. Release.
Now they got to release that pin.
He's attempting.
There they go. They've released the pin. Looking for an angle.
Nice.
Yes, Chef.
Get him.
Yes, Chef. What it's doing is it's striking the force of Mako and flying away from the impact of that hit. There's a
Do
good
it.
drive. Oh, and there's a good
Do it
hit.
again.
That's exactly the kind of hit that Mako
Do it again.
wants. Attacking the side. They want to hit the side of that bot. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't want any part of that bar as far as that claw's concerned. So that lock is perfect for them.
80 seconds. We're halfway over. You're doing good. Just keep it up.
Here comes West
Nice.
back again. Trying to find
Great.
some angle on it. and make
Yes.
one. Oh,
Get it.
Oh, that was almost it. Mako just couldn't have Yes Chef.
Stay square, you're doing great.
To really give him a good hit. Mako, when they pin Yes Chef, Mako wants Yes Chef pinned by the side. So yeah, they bring the hammer down now. Now they're I see a little chunk of armor missing from the top of Yes Chef. Actually, I think that's the bottom of Yes Chef that Mako got. So Mako able to make a little slice in there. Hear that saw spinning
Do
up.
it.
Are they going to drop that saw again? Yes, they are. Dropping the saw to that spinning bigger bar. But the saw says, okay, that's the kind of hit that Mako wants. That's exactly what they want coming through.
Drop it slow. Yes!
That's what they want. That saw was like a half inch into Yes Chef's
Let him
body.
live.
Another hit.
Is that it? That's all it? Oh, wait. Oh, no. Wait, are you done? You can let it. I'm not done. You can do whatever you want, but it's not working.
Is that a tap out?
6, 5.
Unclear whether Yes Chef is tapping out or not, but it looks like that bot is done. That is a knockout. Mako knocks out Yes Chef.
At the top, wheels. That's impressive too. The two.
Heck yeah, man.
And then you got one good one on the bottom.
Yeah, that was like the first one, I think. Really? I think that's literally my favorite match now. I know I probably just said that about Underglow. If not, I thought it. But tremendous match, and then one that might just be a little bit better. The little horn forks did exactly what they were supposed to do. Kept him corralled. He even popped up into them once or twice. Throughout the match, I kind of became more confident with bringing the saw down early on, just kind of biding my time, waiting for the perfect shot. I landed a jab here or there, but eventually I got him kind of stuck, pinned in the corner, and slowly brought the saw down for what was almost a kill shot. Might have been a kill shot. It seemed like his robot shut off and then sprung back to life for like a split second, and then died again. Not really clear, but I think they called it a knockout in the commentary, but it went to the judges. He survived the bell right at the end, but I won that. And Alex actually sent me this pic a few days ago of one of his motors like exploding, I guess, from the shock of dealing with my forks. So yeah, just a tremendous match. Great opponent. You can see how hard he is to deal with. There was once when I pinned him up against the wall with his weapon against the wall, and against a lot of opponents, they might spin that down and sort of accept their fate, not power up the weapon, not to damage the weapon, but he spun it into the wall and actually bounced him free. So yeah, that's his driving style, and it made for just a tremendous match. My favorite match, I think, if I had to say. But enough about that. This next matchup here is up against Annihilation by Keith and his family out of New York, I believe, which is a Peterbark hit. So it's got a scary weapon, but they don't play the ground game. They just kind of got a flat front end to get hits without, caring about getting under the opponent. So my strategy was just going to be, again, be patient, keep my front facing towards him, and wait till I can get a good shot. Here it is.
2, 1, fight!
Careful.
And if they can hit that saw, get a good shot on that saw,
Careful, that was metal.
with that weapon,
Nice, you get the gap. Do it more.
1, 2, 3, 4,
4.
5, 6.
That's his wire.
7, 8, 9, 10, Release the pin. Is that a tap?
Are you tapping or not?
That's a tap out. Mako wins by
So that went pretty great. Here's some damage shots. Early, like I think the first hit I landed ripped up his drive belt. Another hit cut his battery. I wish I got another battery fire, but fortunately for him, didn't cause any unnecessary damage. Just cut the battery wire instead of setting the whole robot ablaze. Regardless, great win. That's Sweet Tapioca. That's her name. Great win. The only concern is I did get popped up early once. There's more I need to learn about fork geometry. Maybe there's something I can do to prevent that. I'm not sure. Next matchup here is a rematch. Apex Predator, who knocked me into the loser's bracket, has fallen into the loser's bracket himself. So I've got a chance for redemption and revenge. Before this match, I had noticed that one of my drive sides was continuing to give me problems. So I had one copy of the robot with sort of a locked up drive. I couldn't figure out what was causing it. And one copy of a robot that had a different saw type Loctited on that I wasn't sure if I wanted to use. So it was kind of a toss-up. Do I try to fix that motor and run the copy of the robot with the old saw, or switch to a fresh copy with this saw? I wound up running the robot with this saw. It'll be hard to pick it up on the camera, but what's interesting about this is each one of these teeth is offset from the other. They alternate, going from side to side. I can't get it. Let's see. You can kind of see there. Talking to a woodworking friend, or rather a friend who does woodworking, Ben, who runs Bean Supreme and codename Pinto at NHRL, and he also thought it would be interesting to try this. I might be able to get some ripping action. But overall, I'm just nervous, but very excited for, like I said earlier, a chance for revenge. So, here we go.
2, 1, fight! Neither bot going for the box rush. They're approaching cautiously. Good hit from Apex Predator onto those forks of Mako. Mako will take all that abuse from their forks. They want to pin Apex Predator and bring that saw down like that. So there's one saw, there's two saws, and Ryan is saying that they're entangled. We need to unhook their unentangled now. And Mako briefly upside down, big hit. Mako upside down again. He can celebrate very quickly with that actuating arm. And the head, and the thing about going head, and a little bit of Mako just came off. And I don't know if that saw is going to be able to continue to spin. Let's see if he can get that saw moving again. In the meantime, that is a lot of hits. And you get that saw spinning. And the arm is definitely working, and the saw spinning, and now it drops, and it is taking a couple of hits. I think there's a stuck. Release the pin. They can't release the pin. Let's pause.
Are we stuck?
Okay, we're going to unstick these two bots. So Apex Predator's top plate showing that it is it's up to the test so far.
Yes, it's still going.
So we don't want to open this this case. Oh well, looks like they've done their job for us.
Yeah.
Okay, blue square, are you ready? Red square, are you ready? This fight restarts in 3, 2, 1, fight! Apex Predator spinning around Mako, trying to get itself off the ledge. Oh! Huge hit, and that is the belt off of Apex Predator and half of the saw. I'm sorry, a quarter of the saw is off of Mako. Off the ledge. Oh!
Yes!
Of Apex That was a massive hit, and both bots took a lot of damage off that hit. He's still trying to spin that saw. It's not going to be very effective with only 3/4 of a saw to work with. So both of these bots a little bit compromised, but Apex Predator trying to push against Mako. 30 seconds left in this fight.
Are you stuck?
Are they stuck again? They're stuck again. And we're pausing. We're pausing again. This time we don't have to wait quite so long for the saw to finish. And we're going to... There we go. Oh, come on, Alex. There we go, Alex.
Don't make me get Alex to take the crowbar.
All right, red square. I'm sorry, blue square. Are you ready? Blue square is ready. Red square, are you ready? This fight will resume once again in 3, 2, 1, fight. All right, so no weapon for Apex Predator, and 3/4 of a saw for Mako. Not doing very much. I mean, what it is doing is it's vibrating the bot, and hopefully that's not doing too much damage to the internals of the bot. Those vibrations can really mess up a bot. And that is time. That is your fight.
So how about that? That saw exploded. But in the process of doing that, I also just ripped his whole weapon assembly up. I cut the belt and also just ripped the beater bar off its mount, if I remember correctly. So I won that decision. Must have been close. But at the end of the match, we both had half drive, and he had no weapon, and I had 3/4 of a weapon, 7/8, however you want to do that math. So fortunate to come away with that victory. Exciting to be able to land that shot and actually do damage, because if I did not do that damage and I took that damage, I would have probably lost there. One change that I forgot to talk about between the previous NHRL and this tournament was I switched the actual saw mount from PETG to TPU in March NHRL. My saw mount was like blowing up, exploding, getting damaged every match. Before then, it was performing great, but I think that was just a lot of luck, and the norm is that a PETG mount is going to explode. Switched to TPU, and they were bulletproof this entire tournament, to the point where you can see I can send so much shock through it that it's going to blow up the saw, but the mount is still strong. Didn't even have to replace that mount. So, improvement successful. Got revenge. Continuing on. The next matchup here is up against Jay with Marvin, another veteran two-wheel drive beater bar. Interestingly enough, this weapon actually spins faster, but I was hearing from some people that he is a more conservative driver. So a little bit of give and take here. But it's going to be the same strategy as against Yes Chef, and let's see how it goes.
All the marbles. Whoever loses will finish third. Okay, we are ready to start. Here we go. 3, 2, 1,
fight!
Stay calm, stay calm.
Wait.
That's a tap? Yeah.
All right, so Mako will advance by a tap out,
Okay, sorry.
and it will be Mako versus Portable Apocalypse.
Now the
Tapioca really wants attention right now. So that was a good win. There was some confusion on my end. I couldn't tell exactly what was going on, but during that initial charge, their top armor fell off. They knew they were stuck in a scary pin, so they tapped out. So I didn't cut through some important stuff. But yeah, that's a great win there. And with that, I have won the losers bracket, and I'm now in the grand finals up against my now rival Ryan, only with his assumedly better robot, which is very similar. It's a 4-wheel drive robot, only instead of being a beater bar, it's an undercutter. He doesn't have carbon fiber top and bottom plates. He's got some titanium, I think, or aluminum. Either way, it's harder metal for me to cut through. But we're in the grand finals. Something I haven't talked about much is I've been having problems with my motors locking up left and right. So coming into this match, I've got 2 copies of the robot. And on each of them, one motor locks up after spinning a certain amount of time. It was intermittent, happening on both robots. I had another spare, but I didn't have time to swap it in. So I was kind of sitting there, 2 robots ready to go. And I just kind of got to decide when it's go time, which one I'm going to use. I decided on one of them, and here's the match.
I'm ready.
Missouri.
Missouri. Or Texas.
Judges are ready.
Ready.
Judges are ready. Audience, are you ready for this
Idaho.
middleweight grand final?
Woo!
Started in 3, 2, 1, fight!
Nice.
Good box rush from Mako.
Your wheel's shredded, but it's still working. It's still working, but it has no traction. If you get close to him, you're going to need to drop it. Drop him.
Is he dead?
Drop it, just kill him. You don't know if he's dead, kill him. That was the weapon. Keep. Spin it and hit him. Hit him. You gotta hit a wheel. You gotta hit a wheel. You gotta position to hit a wheel. You're not gonna hit that. You're not gonna break that. You gotta turn.
Yes!
So I pulled it off. I won. There's a lot that happened in a short amount of time. So I'm actually going to play another camera angle. Things to watch out for. I had a somewhat successful box rush. I think his ESC actually power cycled. But he came back to life in a big way and started shredding both of my tires. You can see him green stuff pinging all over the arena. At one point, both of my tires were locked up. See me swinging my motor into the ground while it's running, because that's the only thing that I can do. He comes around to damage a tire more, and it actually frees it up. But at that point, I'm like, oh crap. I'm spinning the weapon up as fast as I can, halfway in the air, and just come down with what was a kill shot. At that moment, I didn't know if he's going to spring back to life. I didn't know if I could even still move, but I knew that I was lined up for more shots, so I kept taking more and more until he tapped out.
2, 1, fight! Good box rush from Mako. And Portable Apocalypse getting out of the way. Portable Apocalypse now taking some chunks out. Look, those chunks came out of Portable Apocalypse. They're green. They're getting out of the wheel. Seeing a little bit of, I don't know if it's a puff of smoke or a puff of debris, but that undercutter of Portable Apocalypse doing some damage. Down comes the hammer saw. Portable Apocalypse not moving after that hammer saw blow. Another big hit from Mako.
You gotta be kidding me.
10,
Portable Apocalypse
9,
move.
8, 10,
I see that there's a screw that's getting loose on the top
10,
of Portable Apocalypse.
9.
Mako continues to, and that is a
Tap out.
Mako wins by tap out.
First place. First time getting anywhere even close to first place. I think before this, my closest was probably top 16. So this really means a lot to me. I've only been doing this for like 6 or 7 months, but I put a lot of effort into it. I'm pretty obsessed. I had a few people come up to me and say, "Oh, I watch your YouTube channel." That means a lot to me. Alex Pezza, after our match, was like, "Oh, so I'm going to be in the next rundown video," which is funny. It means a lot to know that, you know, builders get something out of this, that I'm not just making this video to show to my mom, which I would do regardless. Yeah. I want to thank my sibling Dima especially for coming there and coaching me. You can hear them yelling stuff to me, giving me advice whole day, helping me make decisions between matches. And it was a 3.5 hour drive to get here. They weren't even driving a robot, so I really appreciate that. I don't think I would have won without them here. Besides that, thanks to Adam for running the tournament. I think that was the first tournament he's run, and it was well run. It was great. And thanks to Gil for doing commentary all day on what I assume is basically his weekend off, because he's doing NHRL stuff, dealing with us constantly, dealing with people complaining and all that. So thanks to everyone who made the tournament happen, and thanks to Dima for being there to coach me and help me. Enough, you know, sappy crap. What's next? Less than a week from now, 27th, me and my sibling Dima are gonna be competing at Maker Battle in Connecticut with our ant weights. Here's my mini version of Mako. It's had a couple of revisions. His wheels aren't on, obviously. But maybe I'll cut some top plates off. I don't know why he's kind of cockeyed right now. But you get the idea. And they're going to be running Turbocopter, I think we're calling them now. A little ant weight torque walker. The weapons might come flying off, but I think it'll be exciting before that happens. After that, we're registered for the May 4th GSCRL. We're definitely bringing at least Mako and Turbo Friend, our beetles. If we have a good time with the ants, we'll bring them too. They're currently registered, but I don't know. Dealing with 4 bots between the two of us in one day might be too much. We'll see. But besides that, I would love to bring Mako to the next NHRL, but the one that just passed, we were stuck on the wait list, which is frustrating, especially because we were so close to making it in. But we've already got to do 2 tournaments with Mako. I think Turbo Friend has done 3. So our chances of getting into the next one with those robots is quite low. So maybe we'll be building something else. Some of you know that I've got a vertical spinner sitting in a box. So maybe I will redesign that slightly and bring that sucker. We've also been toying with the idea of running a 2-pound Mako with a 2-pound Turbo Friend as a multibot, a 50-50 multibot. But NHRL is potentially changing those rules, so we'll see. But as you know, I love this stuff. We'll keep competing in whatever form it takes. Subscribe, tell me what you think. Nasty comments, insults, compliments, whatever. Subscribe, like, all that YouTube stuff. Thanks for watching.